Hello everyone and welcome to NoDQ Live here on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel youtube.com/AaronRiftNoDQ. Today's topic, well at least the main topic, will be Smackdown Live, the February 20th edition. By the way, it was my mom's birthday today, so I would like to publicly wish my mom happy birthday. We had a great day today, lots of fun. But it's time to get down to business and talk about SmackDown Live. I thought the show was very run-of-the-mill. It was pretty much your average SmackDown at best. B-Boy says, it's my birthday too. Well, happy birthday, B-Boy. Maybe I'll sing you a happy birthday song later on. If we get 300 live viewers. It's got to be under those terms. Caleb Jacobs says SmackDown was flat. Actually, that was Cindy CK that said that. Retro Mitman said it's casual SmackDown. So let's go ahead and break down the show. It opened up with AJ Styles talking about the Fatal 5-Way match at Fastlane. You had him interrupted by Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin came out, talked trash. He was interrupted by Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens talked trash. Kevin Owens was interrupted by Shane McMahon, who made some matches. It was like a gauntlet, but for promos. You had Shane McMahon announce Baron Corbin versus AJ Styles in the main event, and then we would see Dolph Ziggler versus Kevin Owens to see if Owens could do better against Ziggler than Sami Zayn did last week. Brother Nero says what AJ said was so corny. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what he said about Kevin Owens, and the crowd did not react to it at all. Somebody's going to have to remind me. I've already forgotten what he said. But it was the boil. That's it. He said that Sami Zayn was the boil on Kevin Owens' back. And there was like no crowd pop for it. It was like one of those lame Roman Reigns' lines that would just be one thing that everybody would complain about and never forget. But since it's AJ Styles, everyone overlooks it because AJ is the internet darling. If Roman Reigns said that, if Roman Reigns used that line, people would never let it go. They would always make a big deal out of that, just like we talk about the Tater Tots promo and the suffering succotash and all that stuff. Yeah, WWE's basically giving AJ Styles the comedy that they would give Roman Reigns. They would give John Cena. And it's so lame. Sam says when WWE fires Road Dogg as lead booker. When will they fire Road Dogg, he asks. I don't know. Probably never. Road Dogg has friends in very high places, if you know what I'm saying. Sam says, does Baron Corbin remind you of that very forgettable Barry Windham stalker gimmick? Yeah, I think so. And Brian says, crowd was dead tonight. Boring show. No enthusiasm and no creativity. Modern WWE at its finest. Well, they were in Phoenix for the second straight night. And I think that that's a problem. I remember years back, WWE did Raw and SmackDown back-to-back on the same night at Staples Center. And the first night was a good reaction, but the second night it felt like the crowd was just burned out. It was a much smaller crowd, and I think the same thing applied here, even though I'm not sure if they did it for this series of tapings, but I know in the past WWE ran in Phoenix back-to-back nights and did a 2-for-1 deal where you would buy one ticket and get a second ticket for free. You would get to go to both shows for the price of one. Cool Hand Dylan just left a $2 super chat donation. Happy birthday to your mom. Don't you dare veto. And there you go. Thank you very much for that, Cool Hand Dylan. Michael says SmackDown needs big star power injection. There's some guy talking in the chat room. I'm not sure who he is. He has a wrench next to his name. I'm not sure who this guy is who's in the chat room trying to make a scene. But we'll just move on here and talk about the show. Chris says instead of SmackDown Live, it should be called Snapchat Live. Yeah, I mean, it seems like now there's a heavy emphasis on doing the selfie promos. That's the new thing in WWE right now. They're trying to be social in the era of social media. TJS says no Rusev Day. No surprise there. I'm not surprised there was no Rusev. Rusev Day is over, guys, and not over. Over meaning it's done. There is no more Rusev Day. It is a figment of your imagination. It no longer exists. Rusev Day had its run, and now it is no more. So yeah, I'm not surprised at all that Rusev Day is taking a backseat to 6-woman tag team matches. How about that? We had another 6-woman tag team match on this show. We had the Riot Squad against Charlotte, Becky Lynch, and Naomi. And it was a fine match. I mean, I would not say it was bad or anything. I thought it was okay, but I'm just sick of seeing the same match over and over again. Ruby Riott picked up the win for her team, and now she gets a title shot. Oops, I said shot. Shouldn't have said shot. A championship opportunity against Charlotte at the Fastlane pay-per-view, which, by the way, will be the last single-branded pay-per-view until that concept is completely done away with. Kayfabe Candy Ass says, another 6-woman tag. We are back to 2010. Awesome JL94 says, Riot Squad is very boring. Will we see a cash-in, says Michael. Good question. It seems like, you know, it's funny. When WWE doesn't tease it, a lot of times it does happen. When WWE does tease it, it usually doesn't. So maybe the fact that Carmella has been laying low, we could see the cash-in at Fastlane. Will it be successful or not? That remains to be seen. I think I talked about this last week on either NoDQ Live or NoDQ Video. I don't know how I feel about Carmella cashing in on Charlotte. I think Charlotte should stay champion until WrestleMania. Maybe Carmella cashes in at WrestleMania if Charlotte wins her match or if Asuka wins the title. Though, imagine Carmella beating Asuka after Asuka beats Charlotte. Although, you could have Carmella pull a Seth Rollins where she shows up and it becomes a triple threat and Carmella pins Charlotte. And then I guess you could say Asuka's streak is over, but not over because she wasn't pinned. I don't know. I'm just so confused. Cool Hand Dylan sent in another $2 super chat donation. Thank you for that. I appreciate it, Cool Hand Dylan. You are awesome. This should get me a piece of a NoDQ beanie. They are sold out, my friend, but hopefully we will get some more soon. I will definitely look into getting some more. Braden says they probably want Carmella to do it at WrestleMania since they're all about making history. Kayfabe Candy Ass says I need a NoDQ sticker for my case. That might be the next thing, NoDQ stickers. You're not ready to talk about Asuka-san, says TK. All right, well, in that case, we will move on here and talk about the U.S. title. So, by the way, Ruby Riott versus Charlotte, Fastlane. Another match set up for Fastlane is Bob Roode defending the title against Randy Orton, as Jinder Mahal would pronounce it, Randy Orton. We had Jinder Mahal come out and cut a promo about the top 10 list. Okay, is it just me or is this top 10 list just ridiculous? I am not a fan of this, and making this a storyline just feels so uncreative and unoriginal. We saw it in WCW and it sucked in WCW. TNA did it and it sucked in TNA too, and it sucks here. I do not care about the top 10 list. I'm bored with it. Jinder Mahal saying, I'm not on the list. Randy Orton is not on the list. Bobby Roode came out and said, who cares about Orton? It's about you and me. And the two of them teased a confrontation. Randy Orton came out. Randy Orton and Bob Roode took out Jinder Mahal. And then Orton went for the RKO on Bob Roode. But Bob Roode was smart this week and he was able to catch it. And then Bob Orton... I just said Bob Orton. See, that's what happens when I keep calling him Bob Roode. Eventually, I'm going to call him Bob Orton after Randy's dad. But anyways, Bob Roode was able to take out the son of Bob Orton. And on this week, Bob Roode got the upper hand over Bobby Orton's son. There, I did not mess it up that time. So now we have Randy Orton versus Bob Roode for the United States title. Bob Roode versus Randall Orton, as Jeffrey says, Big Jeffrey. That match will be taking place at Fastlane. Another match, a third match that was set up for the Fastlane pay-per-view is the tag team title match. It will be the Usos defending against the New Day. Again, I'm not going to complain about this because these guys had great matches last year. One great match after another. I'm cool with it. I'm totally cool with them doing another match. It's interesting, though, because New Day kind of teased a heel turn. I'm not sure. I mean, it was 3-on-2, and Kofi was the difference maker in the match, leading to the New Day winning. But I guess they're still faces. I'm just so sick of this whole New Day thing. I'm really tired of it. The New Day with the pancakes. Is this the best they got at this point? Pancakes? I'm like, dude. First you had the Bootios, now you have the pancakes. Next is going to be New Day sausage or New Day bacon. I mean, they're going to have every element of breakfast. New Day French toast. I mean, what's next here? What's the gimmick? Are they breakfast cooks or something? Maybe I'm just not hip. Maybe pancakes is something that's really popular. They're just pushing food. I don't get it. It's so lame. It's terrible. Kayfabe Candy Ass says New Day sausage isn't PG. And who's this other guy commenting? I have no idea who that guy is. Xavier Wood has the New Day sausage. Well played, TJS. Well played, my friend. Dapster says New Day bacon would be awesome. Oh, and let's not forget about New Day Pops. Yeah, they're just shilling at any kind of junk food. Maybe we can have New Day Cheez-Its or New Day Pringles, New Day Pretzels. I mean, are they just going to do every food group and that's their way of being creative and dragging out the gimmick forever? I'm so tired of it. New Day Eggs. How do you like your eggs? Where is Nakamura? Nakamura is just sitting on the sidelines. WWE doesn't want to overexpose him, and the focus right now is who's going to leave Fastlane as the champion. I think Nakamura should be in a match at the pay-per-view. People are just submitting their New Day ideas here. New Day milk, New Day chocolate milk, New Day cookbook, New Day sushi, and so on and so forth. Can Nakamura speak English yet, says Hamp Kano. So Hamp is not a big Nakamura promo guy, I guess. New Day pizza and soda, New Day bra and panties, New Day milkshake, and that's enough of that. TJS says the on-screen text is way too much. Like I said before, I don't mind the backstage promos with the text. It's when they were doing the live promos that I thought was really over the top and ridiculous and ruining the whole ability to suspend disbelief, because the guys like Kevin Dunn and the people running production, they don't know what that guy is going to say during a live promo, so how can you even do that? Terrible. Marsh says, I like Nakamura's promos. Some people like them, but a lot don't because it's hard to understand what he's saying. Same thing with Asuka. I am a fan of Lars Sullivan, Nathan the Noob. Definitely see him as a guy with potential if he gets to the main roster, which if Vince gets a look at him, I would imagine he is. Kayfabe Candy Ass says, Corbin is such a badass doing selfies with wet, thin hair. How can he not get over? I detected a little bit of sarcasm there, Mr. Candy Ass. I guess the Bludgeon Brothers are going to be at WrestleMania. Not necessarily. I would not be shocked if one of two things happen. Either the Bludgeon Brothers have a match with the champions on a random episode of SmackDown, or you have your multi-tag team match, 4 teams, the usual stuff, or tag team triple threat, so everybody gets on the show, and Bludgeon Brothers, Usos, New Day, Gable, and Benjamin, all those guys will be in one big match with everybody at WrestleMania, so everybody gets their WrestleMania moment. Let's see, what else do we have to talk about on this show? We did have the Bludgeon Brothers win a squash match. Kevin Owens defeated Dolph Ziggler, so I'm assuming Dolph Ziggler's not making $1.5 million a year if he's already jobbing out to Kevin Owens on SmackDown. Granted, there was outside interference. Sami Zayn ran down to the ring and then stopped right before he entered the ring, and that was enough distraction for the veteran Dolph Ziggler to get distracted. You would think a guy who's a veteran by this point would know how this gimmick works, where somebody's going to run out for a distraction, and he would know better. So yeah, Dolph Ziggler's just an idiot. For a guy who's been in WWE for all these years, his character sure is stupid, falling for the old, I'm going to run down to the ring and then have a fake out. So yeah, Ziggler's an idiot. Ziggler cut his hair, apparently. Talk about the Mixed Match Challenge. I'm not watching it right now. My pick was Bobby Roode and Charlotte Flair. If they lost the match, I'm going to be really surprised. Is it still going on, guys? Somebody's got to let me know here what happened. They did win. Okay, good. I'm glad they won. If Apollo Crews and Nia Jax won, I would be like, really? Really? Yeah, Charlotte and Bob Roode won the match. Nathan the Noob says Lars Sullivan or Nathan Jones. Lars Sullivan? Nathan Jones was terrible. The guy had a decent look, but he was just terrible. Bad wrestler, boring look, really had nothing to bring to the table. Period. I think Lars Sullivan actually, I don't sense he's a guy that's going to also just quit and give up. Nathan Jones just pretty much walked away and decided he didn't want to do it. I know Lars Sullivan is a huge fan, and there's this story that he left his girlfriend because she wasn't interested in wrestling, so he dumped her and went on to WWE, or she left him or something, but he chose wrestling over her, basically, is the gist of the story. There was some article about it. And anyways, let's move on here to the main event match, which was Baron Corbin. A lot of people are really souring on Baron Corbin. He needs a haircut at the very least, because that hairline just isn't cutting it for him. He needs to change his look, either cut his hair, shave his head, or do something different. He doesn't have the hairline to support having long hair like that. It just doesn't work for him. Corbin lost to AJ Styles. AJ beat him with the phenomenal forearm, I believe. Might have been a different move. I think it was the forearm. B-Boy, you can listen to YouTube videos when you're on your commute. I do it all the time. You can just play a YouTube clip and have it play over your speakers. After the match, after AJ won, we had Cammy, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn come out, attack AJ, and then Baron Corbin got a little bit of his heat back, as they say, by beating up the two guys. And that was it. Baron Corbin stood tall despite losing, and that was SmackDown. Very average show, in my opinion. Michael says Corbin is bland, but I don't blame him. Nelson says he should wear a luchador mask. Don't say Cammy, please. Look what WWE did to me. Cammy. We need more managers in WWE, says Marsh Leonard. I agree on that. I miss managers, and for guys like Nakamura and Asuka, I think it would benefit to have somebody talk for them. You know, Paul Heyman might be able to provide some assistance to these guys. But yeah, it would be nice if there were more guys like Paul Heyman that could cut some amazing promos for some of these guys that are not quite as strong on the mic. Dapster said Cammy is greater than Rusev Day. Well, at this point, I would agree with you on that. Anyways, I wanted to note something to you guys. Tomorrow, NoDQ Live will be back for a third straight day, and big show I got planned for you guys. We will be doing live Elimination Chamber predictions. I will be getting your guys' input, and I will be joined by the West Coast Professor, the greatest columnist in NoDQ.com history, good old JM Jeff Meacham. Jeff Meacham will be joining me. The plan is 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Jeff Meacham, the man who turns NoDQ.com upside down. Good old JM Jeff Meacham, greatest columnist in NoDQ.com history. Greatest review personality in the history of NoDQ.com. Jeff Meacham and myself will be back together, reunited, and it feels so good. 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific time. That is tentative for Wednesday, but that is the plan, to do a live video. We will talk about Elimination Chamber, giving our thoughts, our final pay-per-view predictions, and all that good stuff. So tune in, tell a friend. Going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. Marsh says, I love NoDQ Live. Well, I really do appreciate your guys' support and tuning in. Any other topics you guys would like me to discuss in the world of wrestling? Other than the Attitude Era coming back, which it never will, unfortunately. With the way society's going, I don't think we will ever see the Attitude Era return, unfortunately. People are talking about Lars winning the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, or the Dre for short. Possibly. I could see him as a dark horse to win the match. I did talk about this. You know, there is the speculation about Goldberg and him possibly winning the match. I could see that happening. Maybe Big Cass returns in time. Royalty says this channel is better than JD206. Well, duh. Too many social justice warriors for the Attitude Era now. Pretty much. I mean, you go back and watch some of the Attitude Era Raws, and there's just no way that stuff would fly. You know, speaking of society today and the Attitude Era, you know, Jeff Jarrett came back in 1997 after being in WCW, and Jarrett basically cut a worked shoot promo on WCW and Vince, and complained to Vince about having to work with, and this is a quote from Jeff Jarrett, not my words, quote, "You booked me with the clown, the drug addict, a black man who can't even speak the English language," end quote. That was a quote, so nobody better attribute that to me. That was Jeff Jarrett's quote from 1997, and there's no way he could get away with saying that today. There was just a lot of stuff around that time. Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart making homophobic remarks towards each other. Bret Hart saying you're nothing but a homo, and calling Triple H a homo. Double J going into the Hall of Fame. Retro says this video has been demonetized. Actually, it was already given that yellow, not suitable for advertisers, before I even went live. I set up the live stream, and it does this a lot. It'll automatically make the stream demonetized, even though I haven't done a video yet. Huh? Yeah, YouTube's system is really messed up. It's been messed up. I'm hoping that YouTube will eventually get with the times, and can we make YouTube great again? That is what Over the Top Rope asks, and I second that. Hamp, you are trying too hard to be a troll today. Just telling you. Somebody put Hamp in timeout. He's just being a jerk now. Brother Nero says, so has the Daniel Bryan Shane McMahon storyline fizzled out? It looks like WWE dropped the ball. Well, the thing is, Bryan's probably not wrestling. Unless there's some sort of big swerve that nobody's being dropped any hints about. Wow, Hamp just got timed out for 300 seconds by 3 different moderators, so he's timed out for 900 seconds now. Poor guy. Blake says this is so much better than Sean's view. Well, I would hope this is better than Sean's view. If this was only a little bit better, then I'm not sure what that would say about my videos. Anyways, Cool Hand Dylan says YouTube was greater in the MySpace days. Yeah, YouTube was amazing 2010, 2011. And then gradually over time, I felt like it's gone downhill. And, You know, that's what happens when you dominate the marketplace, just like WWE. WWE dominates the marketplace in the United States, and the quality goes down. YouTube, when they started, they needed the people to produce content. But now that YouTube is a billion-dollar company and it's the top video sharing site in the world, YouTube can get away with anything. They can make their own rules. They can break their own rules. They can do whatever they want, much like WWE can. They can pretty much just do what they want and get away with it, except for offending people because they don't want to offend anybody. So they're just going to put together whatever content they want, what they think is entertaining, or I should say what Vince finds entertaining, and that is that. And same thing with Facebook. I'm really down on Facebook right now. Facebook, the way they have their news feed set up, and the whole thing's just a mess. But anyways, let's stick to wrestling here. Could we see Double J Jeff Jarrett in the Andre match? I would not rule out Jeff Jarrett appearing for one more match. I mean, this certainly opens the doors for Jeff Jarrett to appear on Raw again and maybe even have another match, maybe have one more match. Certainly a possibility. Over the Top Rope says, what is your favorite Breaking Bad episode? Ozymandias, but we could talk about that another time. That is non-wrestling. Let's get back to wrestling here. Do you want to see Kane back after his injury? I would be fine with Kane having one final WrestleMania appearance, maybe having one final moment in the spotlight. Maybe he'll win the Andre Battle Royal. I still think it would be better for... Here's what I think about the Andre Battle Royal. I think somebody should win it that will be elevated as a result of winning. And, you know, there's the Andre documentary that is being produced. It's coming out right after WrestleMania. And I feel like WWE will put more stock into the Royal Rumble, or should I say the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, Royal Rumble, Battle Royal, whatever. I feel like WWE will put more stock into it this year than previous years. Kane winning would be cool, and that would be Kane's final match, his final moment. I think that would be interesting. Michael says, old names you would like to see in the Dre. Jeff Jarrett, like somebody mentioned earlier. Jeff Jarrett, maybe bring in guys that we should have seen at Raw 25, like Ken Shamrock would be cool, or Gangrel, or Rikishi. Those are some of the names I would like to see personally. Kayfabe Candy says, can they at least make the trophy look like it costs more than $10? Good point, Kayfabe, but you know they gotta cut corners somehow, especially if they're gonna be spending money on pyro for WrestleMania, which the belief is they will. So they gotta cut corners in other areas. I don't know if the Andre trophy is gonna look any more special than usual. I don't think so. I doubt it. I don't think we'll be seeing Bailey is cool says Batista or Bobby Lashley for the Dre. I don't think we would see Batista in that match, and probably not Bobby Lashley. I mean, Bobby Lashley's not coming in for a one-off match, and neither... Well, Batista might. He might come back for one match, or just... I think Batista actually wants to do the house show schedule and actually have a full-time run. So I don't see Batista or Bobby Lashley being in it because they're going to be coming back as regular performers, not one-off appearances. In the Lion's Den, mentioned Mark Henry. Yeah, we could see that. We could potentially see Mark Henry in that match. I would not rule that out. TJS, I would love to do call-ins. The problem with that is I'm in LA right now. I don't have my Mac with me, so the videos this week, unfortunately, cannot include call-ins. Next week, I will be back to that format. I did poll people on social media, and the majority want me to keep doing the call-ins. There were some people that were against it, but maybe in time we can really make it more efficient. I know it was a little rough, but that one episode last week for Raw was just a bit of a technical mess, and that wasn't even my fault. That was YouTube having issues. But again, reminder, tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, NoDQ Live, predictions for Elimination Chamber with myself and good old JM Jeff Meacham, the greatest columnist in NoDQ.com history, the man who turns NoDQ upside down, ready to bring some rage to NoDQ is good old JM Jeff Meacham. That will be tomorrow night. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Had to take a sip of NoDQ lotion before I sign off. Gangrel is alive, and I saw him in an indie show actually about a year ago. He's still around. Kayfabe Candy Ass is the prettiest columnist in NoDQ history. I agree on that. So thank you guys for your support and tuning in tonight. I appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time for another edition of NoDQ Live. Take it easy, guys.